represent all the things about me, but it also burns your flesh, and it's also a label, right? Right? Let me hear you. All right, let me wake y'all up. Knock, knock. Opportunity. Let's stop asking questions and open the door, man. See, that's y'all problem, man. Y'all want to see what's on the other side, but y'all don't want to open the door to see it. And so now, that's just my little wake-up call. But what I want to tell y'all is this, man. When it's an opportunity at the door, just go ahead and open the door. All right, so right here, this is an opportunity. Male Mentor Program. They told you a little bit about that. A lot of times, I don't really like to talk about that. I let them talk about that. I like to tell my story, because when I was here at Voorhees, there was no mentor program. Some of y'all heard a little bit of this already, and some start. But let's go back to the brand. The brand is something that people use to identify themselves, and it's something that usually burns if you're doing it with like a hot iron. Something I found out, Anthony, you're going to appreciate this. You know they used to brand cows, right? Why do they brand cows?
That's the market of the street.
Huh?
That's the market who they own to.
To find out who owns the cow, right? Y'all ever heard of a maverick before? What's a maverick? Huh? A maverick was a cow that wasn't branded.
Oh.
A maverick was a cow that wasn't identified by any particular brand. So then, when I'm looking at y'all, I'm expecting y'all to be mavericks. I'm not expecting politicians to brand you. I'm not expecting even teachers to brand you. I'm expecting you to be so branded from the inside out that people don't even know which way you're coming from. Y'all feel me? So that's a brand. We talk about labels, we talk about brands, and any of these guys can tell you one of our biggest problems as black males is what? We don't know who we are. We don't know our identity. And so I'm going to talk about myself today. Y'all already said what happens in here, what? Yeah, so I'm going to give y'all some stuff. I'm going to talk about me. I'm going to tell y'all some stuff. Y'all going to look at me different. That's why I had to take my tie off, man, because a lot of times people see you dressed up. They see the glory and they don't even know the what. Sorry. Yeah. So when I'm looking at this thing, man, you know, I'm growing up. And I thought about this last night. I can't remember. I told somebody, I said, man, I was really abused as a child, man. I was abused, and I didn't even realize it. And I'm like, you know, what you mean, show me the marks? I can't show you the marks because I was, a lot of people abused because their dad cussed them out, right? I was abused because the dude ain't talk to them. A lot of people abused because their dad put their hands on them. I was abused because my dad never hugged me. A lot of people abused because their dad trying to do all type of negative things to them. I was abused because he said he was coming at 6 and he ain't come to the 16th. And so some of y'all, even in this room, man, some of y'all have the same story. And guess what? We bring that to college. And then we say, hey, make sure you go to class, get good grades, and graduate. But the truth of the matter is, man, college ain't just about grades and A's and B's, man. College is about your entire life changing. Now remember what I said, you know, don't get brand new, right? But I do want you to get a new brand. The reason why I want you to get a new brand is because there's too many people out there that have labeled us and identified us as has-beens, as people that's not going to take care of their kids, as people just going to go to jail. Yeah, that's what they say about us, man. They don't say, you know, that these are the next guys that's going to walk across the stage. Mr. Shivers talked about the Bible, man. One verse I love the most, it says, life and death is in the power of the tongue. But then it depends on who's talking. Because some folks are sowing seeds in your ear, and some folks telling you, guess what? Like me, they say you're going to be just like your dad. And guess what I told them? I said, I beg to differ. Now let me tell you what's dangerous though, man, when you challenge the forces of evil. Whenever you step out and you say, I ain't going to be like you, the forces of evil are ready to make you prove your life, man. And so at the age of 13 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where I was growing up, man, I was doing pretty good. I was a valedictorian in 8th grade, went to private school all my life. What grade was I valedictorian? What grade?
8th grade.
Yeah, I gotta make sure y'all still with me. And so I'm valedictorian. Well, I got my nice white suit on, bow tie, gave speech. And that same summer, man, I started using drugs, man. Why? Because the dudes that I was working with for the city of Philadelphia, Parks and Rec, became my daddy, man. They became the people that put me up under their wing. And so when we got our check, I'm 13, 14 years old, we going to buy a bag from the little store where you think you're buying chips, but they really putting the weed in the bag. Y'all been there, y'all know what I'm talking about? I mean, am I hitting on me? Anybody? Is it just me? It's just me, man. I'm packing my stuff, man, taking pictures, and we'll leave. But this is what's happening in these seats and these chairs. And so, 13 years old, man, I'm doing the very thing that I said I'd never do. I'm starting to be just like my daddy, man. And I don't want to get too deep into the story before I get through the story, but the truth of the matter is, I'm smoking weed, which ain't really that big, right? It's just weed, right? I mean, come on, it's just weed, right? For God's sake, it used to be illegal. Until politics got involved, let's be real about it. like alcohol. Matter of fact, you go to Germany, alcohol ain't even a problem. But for me, it was a problem. Because for me, now, even though I already didn't know who I was, now I was spinning even further and further and further out of control. Fast forward, man, I get to high school. 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. I'm at 4th month, 5th month, 6th month, 7th, all the months. I'm at spades, playing craps in the back of the lunchroom. I'm there. You know, I'm doing that. I ain't going to class. And so I find myself, that's why I graduated on time, man, but I had to go to night school and summer school to do it. Dr. Smith, man, the alpha man in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, came to me and said, hey, you want to go to school in South Carolina? No, sir, I'm fine. No, I don't want no parts of that. I wasn't no drug dealer. I wasn't on the street beating nobody up. None of that, man. There was potential locked up in me, but nobody could get it out of me. And so I went to work at UPS, make like what?
Man, that's enough.
$100 a week. You know what I mean? Y'all, man, they kill you, man. And that's what UPS got a plan.
Every Friday.
Yeah, they gonna make money off them for their plan.
Straight up, man.
Then I worked at the post office now. Don't talk bad about the post office. I worked 3 days and got like $300. Like, you know, post office, right? But it was a temporary job, and I still ain't know what was in me. It wasn't no college. I wasn't college bound. Some of y'all in this room, y'all wasn't college bound. Let me pause right there parenthetically to say this, man. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say it real. Man, don't y'all ever disrespect my school that I graduated from, man. Straight up, I heard a dude last year. Matter of fact, he orientation leader now. I'm not even gonna bring him out. I was telling shit was earlier. Dude told me, he said, man, I'm transferring next semester, next year. I said, yeah. I said, what school you was gonna go to besides Voorhees? That's what he said. Man, Voorhees the only one that gave me a shot. I said, man, you stupid. I said, how you gonna spit in the face of the only place that gave you a shot? That's disrespectful, man. It's disrespectful to me. Disrespectful to Ben. Disrespectful to Ant. Disrespectful to these guys who put their heart and their soul into making sure this place is at least what we can try to make it be. And that's your only shot, and you shoot it? No way, no way. No way, man, because a lot of people, it's not just about who you are, but it's about where you are, man. Hear me out. I was doing a session, man, with some kids from California. This girl said, Mr. Smith, I got a question. I said, yes, sweetheart, what's your question? She said, what do y'all do down here in the middle of nowhere? I said, sweetheart, I'm offended because this place is the middle of my everything. This place is where I met my wife at. My wife is pregnant with twins right now, twin boys. I have a little 18-month-old boy, and all of that was a product of this place. This ain't the middle of nowhere, this is the middle of everything. I don't know if y'all had the opportunity to look at the wall of fame that's plastered on the outside of Mass Hall with people that's on Barack Obama's cabinet and doctors and lawyers and preachers and teachers, and then people have the nerve to come in my office and say, Mr. Smith, what can I do with my VC degree? And you know what I tell them, man? You'll appreciate this. You can't do nothing with it if you don't plant it. That's right. Because the seed ain't worth nothing in your hand. You got to put it in the ground. And so that's what y'all got to do with this thing called Voorhees, with this thing called education. It's not just about knowledge, it's not just about A's and B's, but the complete packages in front of your face. So we talked about identity, who you are. We talked about this place, where you are. But then as my man E.T. said, what's your why? Why are you here? Because the truth of the matter is, man, I know there's some folks here because the judge told you to come here. There's some folks here because your mama said you had to do something. You ain't want to go to Afghanistan. There's some folks here because you really didn't know what else to do. But here's the question, now that you're here, now what? Now that you're here, now what, man? So I got here, fall 99, August 99, it was hot, mosquitoes was biting me, man, I was swelling up. What? I mean, that's just TV, right? All right? And so we used to go up, see, y'all got the nice cage up there. We used to go up behind Bedford Hall. Yeah. And we used to hoop up there, man. And so, I mean, can I get a rub and I see smiles, but, you know, smiles might turn upside down now, but it's all good. Came back from the cage, man, we came back from hoop. My frat brother, my line brother, Mike, he works in the missions now. We call him Pink Panther, we got the Pink Lips, man. He's seeing him walking around. You know, we had phones in the room, and he said, hey, man, your mom's on the phone. Got on the phone, my mom was crying. I said, Mom, what you crying for? She said, you need to come home, your dad just died. Now, I need to tell y'all that I left something out of the story. The whole reason why I got the Voorhees, man, is because I was stabbed in my head, my shoulder, my hand, and I didn't know what else to do with my life. Because I kind of left it out by saying, dude told me I was coming, and then I was like, no, thank you, right? Stuff always happens in between, and it's called processing. Process to get you to where you need to be. And so here I am laying in the hospital. Let me go back and digress. I'm laying in the hospital, blood dripping from my body, and I just hear these folks calling out numbers, 10%, 20%, 30%. Well, what does all that mean? I asked the lady, what does that mean? She said, well, first off, you got a hole in your shoulder size of a quarter. You got a hole in your head that we're going to patch up, but if that number would have hit 0, that meant you were dead. And I started thinking about, what am I really doing with my life? Am I really maximizing my potential? No. I mean, yeah, the post office was cool, but I wasn't made to work pushing, man.
Straight up.
It's something more inside of me. And some of y'all leaving in the room, man. I'm gonna do this right here. I'm gonna pause again. Look to your left, look to your right. All right, y'all heard it before. Y'all seen it on TV. I ain't gonna make you say it, because like I said, life and death is in the power of your tongue. Look to your left, look to your right, and say, yo, you need to be here when I graduate. Yeah. Because most of the time when they tell you to do that, they say, the person next to you ain't gonna be here. Stop giving people self-fulfilling prophecies that's negative. Because when I speak to you, I'm gonna speak to you in the affirmative. If you see me and you come through, I'm gonna be like, hey man, you ready for graduation? I'm just a freshman. And it go by so quick. So I got stabbed, man. I found myself here. My mom called, found out my dad died. He already had a stroke at 40. And I'm so stupid being a kid. He in rehab and stuff. I'm sending him cigarettes, man. I'm sending him cigarettes. Because I figured it was better than, the stuff he was doing. But watch this. People think cigarettes, that ain't no big thing. Weed, that ain't no big thing. But I didn't know weed was going to lead to crack. I didn't know crack was going to lead to meth. And I didn't know meth was going to lead to the man's death. I didn't know. But then not only that, man, I go home. I'm his only child, man. I got brothers and sisters, but you know how it is. My mom had 3 different baby daddies. I go home to bury him, put the little sheet over his face, and I come right back to Voorhees College. Like, most of the time, I see so many people go home and they be like, man, I got to go home and take care of my family. What am I going to do at home? I can't get in the grave with him. I can't die. I'm still living. And so I buried him and I came back. When I came back, it's like I had a newfound life. It was like that was my why. Like, now I got to live for him and me.